Brightest blessings, everyone. Psychic medium Elizabeth Grove, the Paranormal Priestess. Welcome to the Paranormal Priestess YouTube channel, and thank you so much for joining me today. And if you just stopped by and clicked on this video, welcome. My name is Elizabeth. I am a quantum communicator, healer, and clearer, helping people with their ascension journeys. And it's been amazing being here on YouTube, supporting everyone with their ascension, with their twin flame dynamic. And I love what I do, and I appreciate each and every one of you who have subscribed to the channel and for those who have worked with me. And these particular messages today are going to be ones that are going to be talking about this Lionsgate and just how enormous this Lionsgate is. This is going to be like none other. So if you have been feeling the intensity already, have been feeling a lot of ascension symptoms, you are certainly not alone. And let's get into these messages. So what I received about this Lionsgate, which makes it very unique, is that this Lionsgate marks the closure of the entire 3D paradigm. So everything that has gone on, that has been corrupted power, where there has been deception, where there has been programming, where we've had to live in this matrix of illusion, where others were controlling the reality for us, and it has caused all of these different karmic conflicts, these karmic situations. All of this is ending. It's coming to a complete close. And with that, of course, is tons of this karmic purging, if you will, at the planetary level, and of course at the individual level as well. So all of this trauma that the earth has carried, all of the wars, all of the violence, all of the systems and institutions, the structures that we have been connected to, where they were controlling and they were the ones that were in power, and we had to just know that we were limited, right? We were thinking, okay, we're limited, and they are the ones that hold the power, and we can't get past that. All of that imbalance of the karmic scales, all of that is closing out, and the scales are balancing in a very, very big way. So the scales of justice are now balancing on the planet. This also means that the scales of balance, that's happening too for you on your ascension journey. The light is coming in more than ever. The sun is extremely different. It's different because the light is so different. We're having so much of the light from Sirius come through the stargate of our own sun. It has been causing all this crazy weather. It's been causing the tsunamis, the earthquakes, all of this turmoil, right? It's causing it at the planetary level. It's causing all of these eruptions, and it's causing eruptions on the global scale, right? The world stage, what's happening out there. But it's also causing a lot of eruption within you. So pay close attention to what the sun is purifying, because so much of the rest of that old density, the darkest of times, is coming up, where you have been out of alignment, where you have been out of alignment with love, where you've been out of alignment with the divine, right? Your higher self, your I am presence, where you've been out of alignment with a beloved counterpart, your twin flame. All of this coming up to witness, to observe, to hold space, presence, so that way these things can once and for all transmute, and all of those old timelines close down. So it's really pretty enormous as to what is coming through now. This gateway is just such a pivotal point now for everyone. Pay attention here, okay, to what you're feeling, the unsafety that comes up, the old rejection, abandonment wounds that come up. There's going to be a lot of emotions coming to the surface, a lot of those old narratives, those old stories of limitation, of fear, where it's blocking you out of aligning with love, with who you are, with the truth. And these, of course, are not easy to deal with, but the more that you can give presence to what comes up without resistance, without denial, whatever you can do to just open yourself up to whatever these wounds need to communicate to you out of the pain body, the better that you're going to be working with all of this, and you're going to be supporting these processes, because this is the biggest time ever. This was certainly going to be a transitional year. It certainly is a transitional year. And this is now the biggest point that we're at for this Lion's Gate. So fear-based karmic control, separation consciousness of old conflicts are purifying, and they are no longer able to continue, is what I received. All the collective psychic imprints, all the old imprints of trauma, shock trauma, things that you have been through. Again, so much emphasis is going to be on where you've been disempowered. It's Leo energy, the lion, masculine energy. And so think of distorted masculine controls, distorted power, the ways in which you've related to power that have been illusionary, where you felt disempowered, where there's been victim consciousness. And we have to really just create this big web out of everything. It is a web, right? So we have to connect it, because everything that you have been experiencing in this life, there's no mistake about it. It's all traveled over from other lifetimes. So this has been your soul history. So when you fell into the third dimension, this has just been a collection, a karmic wheel, if you will, karmic cycles. And now it's not going to continue, not on the planet and not for you, because a new reality, a fifth dimensional reality, is about to unfold. And this new reality is going to be one not of separation, of us versus them and who's right, who's wrong, not of I hold the power, I am above you, you are below me, not of anything of that. This is not going to be of separation consciousness anymore. We are coming into a fifth dimensional reality where everything is unified. We are one love, right? One love. We all come from source. A lot of people are absolutely losing it right now. We see in the news that people are just committing crimes, going crazy. It's really, really very, very sad to see. It's really affecting so much of us. Whatever you can do to not absorb so much of that. If you're watching constant news streams, you're exposing yourself to these news stories just a lot, and you're feeling just, the heaviness and the drainage of that. Do what you can with creating boundaries. Yes, it's good to be informed, but if you feel like it's drawing too much on you, then you'll know what you need to do to pull yourself back, because all of this conflict is being purged up so we can completely end this paradigm. But it's very messy. It's very, very taxing mentally and emotionally on people, and depending on what they've been through within their soul history, is just how intense it's going to be experienced. And the same for you as well, depending on how much you've been through, that will determine just what your purification is going to be like, what your releasing is going to be like, how much pain you'll feel within your physical body, the pain body, as these things are purified by the light of the sun and Sirius, as Sirius comes through our sun. So shock trauma, false ideologies, false constructs, all of these things that have become the matrix, the false matrix as we know it. These are all now being purified. I also receive the 7 deadly sins being cleared, the shadow drastically coming up. Those who have spread messages of separation based on egoic power are now being dismantled. So those people who have been putting out propaganda and putting out these false ideologies and false constructs, who have been creating the illusion, who have been really just fooling people out there, and they've gotten away with it for so long by gaslighting. Those leaders are now completely being exposed, and they are being removed. Accountability time, again, think the scales of justice is happening. Leaders of light now being brought to the table, now being installed. There is a complete revamping of the structures, the institutions, the media, all of these things, everything that has been illusionary, all of it being exposed and being replaced now by truth, light. It's a messy process. But how you relate to it, how your soul relates to it, it's important, again, to just be conscious of the fact that you've been through all of these things before in many lifetimes, many volatile lifetimes, where you've had to deal with the government, where you had to deal with religious institutions, where you've had to deal with persecution and judgment and blame and fights over land, and tribal trauma, and all of these things. Now this is coming out of your cells. These imprints are coming up. These old fears, anxieties, and shock traumas coming up. And it's going to be up to you to really be with it and to give yourself the time and the space to process those emotions, because this is a humongous time of becoming who you really are. We have timelines, the release of old timelines. And I just want to note too this about timeline. So we are, and I've been saying this, but of course with this Lionsgate, this is going to be greater than ever before. The acceleration of higher future timelines, aligning with the highest future timelines, the acceleration of unity with a divine, unity with your own divinity, unity with, if you're experiencing a divine counterpart. All of this is being greatly pushed, greatly supported by where we are, where humanity's collective is. So it's very exciting. And yes, there have definitely been times where there's been, lower beings creating false timelines and hijacking timelines and all of this. And that is very true. But what I have always received is that the light was assured to win, no matter what those attempts were. I know Archangel Michael had brought that out on this channel. Me, myself, I have the higher mission of working on that grid, that earthly grid, the grid work. There's a lot of grid workers, I'm sure, who are watching this. And this was all for the sake that the earth would definitely succeed in her ascension. You see, we are coming back to the divine feminine. Right? It's been the shadow of the masculine. So this is not to, blame the masculine polarity, the masculines, for anything. This was all done by lower beings. What happened to this planet, right? We are returning to the heart. We're returning to the feminine, right? We're returning to that nurturing energy. that opening up to love, to our emotions, embracing our emotions, embracing beauty, love, right, in its purest sense. And so there has been just such an imbalance there with the masculine polarity, the shadow polarity of the masculine controlling the earth. And now that goddess energy is truly awakening. It's awakening on this planet where it's they've been trying to just cut us off completely from the feminine energy. It's returning now to the planet. It's returning now within you. The masculines, in terms of twin flames, if we're talking about counterparts, and this goes beyond just twin flame counterparts, by the way. It's just the masculine energy. The masculine energy is going through such an enormous and intense transformation right now. Such an enormous transformation. The masculine energy is at this time where they are being rebirthed, and this Lion's Gate is greatly supporting the rebirth of the divine masculine into this masculine where they are pretty much the King of Cups, right? The masculines are so known, right, to connect with the mind and air, right, the mental. But the problem with that is that the masculines have been cut off from their heart. They've been cut off from love, from feeling, because of all of this programming that is put on the masculines. And I also want to just take note here that, to make a note here, this has happened if you are, if you're watching this and you are feminine polarity, if you identify with being dominantly the feminine polarity, you have still your own masculine energy, and this affects that masculine energy as well, right? Because we both have feminine and masculine energy. But the masculines, they have gone through this programming of this, okay, this is what the masculines need to be like, this is what they need to act like, this is what they need to show, this is what they need to provide, this is what it means to be worthy, this is what it means to be valuable, this is what it means to be deserving. And if you're not checking all of those boxes off, then you're not truly respected as a masculine. And it's been so extreme what's been put on the masculine polarity, because it's been extreme as to the shadow of the masculine, how it's been controlling the earth. So the masculines right now, they are going through the rebirth, especially of their own hearts, and where they've resisted that, where they've denied that, where they've gone through rejection, abandonment, betrayal, and judgment, where they've had things happen in relationships, where they've had things happen when they were younger, when they had things happen within wars and conflicts of the other lifetimes, where they've had these battles, even things that have happened in other star systems, all these things, they are finally going to be able to connect with their heart. It's not going to happen overnight. However, this Lion's Gate is strongly supporting the resurfacing of all of that trauma, all those stories, all those beliefs, all of the delusions and the illusions, all of the false ideologies and constructs. It's coming up. Every single layer and level is coming up because the old paradigm is now over. So, feminines, be as kind as you can to your own polarity, your own masculine polarity. And where you as a feminine have gone through facing the shadow of the masculine from other lifetimes, where it's wounded you, it's wounded your feminine, pay attention to what comes up for you and be with that as much as possible. And for masculines out there, this is going to be about really discovering, I had said the heart, but this is discovering also your true authentic power. And this is going to help you to create more of a balance between your own masculine energy, your own feminine energy, your own mind, and your own heart. It's creating more of that balance, more of that King of Cups energy, rather than it just be all mental. Because all mental is not going to cut it for the spiritual journey. The spiritual journey is truly returning to the heart, to pure love, to feeling, to being safe in that love, expressing that love, receiving that love, right? Really being within that love. And so that's the spiritual awakening. That is the spiritual awakening. So masculines, this is a very, very exciting time. There's a lot of upheaval that's going to be happening for the masculines. But I must say that take care of yourself during this time. Drink a lot of water. A lot of the ascension symptoms I know are very severe with the crown and the neck and the shoulders and the spine. It's been painful for a lot of us. Just please know that this is your pain body speaking. This is the old paradigm, old karmic paradigm, which is coming up and out of the body. If you're having blurry vision, I know I'm having a lot of that. It's the shifting of perception, where you've seen traumatic things, where there's been distortions with perception there, old programming. All this is coming up, so it could be cleansed out, so you can take on higher perception. And we really are going through this whole quantum expansion. This is quite a lion's gate. So stay with yourself. And I'm here if you have any kind of question regarding your journey, regarding doing the shadow work, your twin flame counterpart in that journey. Please, you can contact me. I'm here to help you. I offer readings, I offer healings. I also offer clearings if you have any kind of lower psychic attachments, anything that needs to be done where you're being interfered with. I'm here, theparanormalpriestess.com. And thank you so much for stopping by and listening to this message. And remember, from the heart of the darkness is born the light. Brightest blessings, and I will see you all soon. Take good care.